What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video here on the Racing Games channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the GT Omega Prime Cockpit, which the guys and girls at GT Omega were kind enough to send over to our very own Toby Durant. Now, sim racing has been growing rapidly over the last few years thanks both to the accessibility of sim games and the proliferation of affordable equipment for at-home racers. 2022 has already been a great year for racing game fanatics, with Gran Turismo 7 just the latest amazing title to come around. But what's the point of a simulation game if you're playing it with a controller? Even a wheel clamped to a desk can fail to give you that buzz. So that's why we've been trying out the GT Omega Prime Cockpit. So how good is it? Let's find out. So anyone who has sunk time into a racing game on a controller has at some stage wished for a wheel of their own. Now that was Toby a few years ago. Then when he was racing with a Thrustmaster TMX clamped to his desk, he was wishing for a proper rig, and that's where GT Omega comes in. The Prime Cockpit XLRS arrived at his door in 3 rather large boxes, weighing in at just over 60 kilograms. Once it was moved into his office and the boxes opened, the size of the assembly task felt a little overwhelming. It was like he'd gone to sim racing IKEA and walked away with something that needed an army to put it together. But a quick look at the instructions eased his worries. The Prime Cockpit is highly customizable, with seating position, wheel mount and pedal plate able to mount at different distances and angles. That makes it a great option for any at-home racer, but also makes it tricky to build and align correctly. While getting the main base frame together was relatively simple, getting the wheel and pedals in the right position required multiple attempts. However, by far the trickiest part was getting the seat mounted. Being a complete newbie at rig building and with instructions that, while clear, were not as thorough as they could have been, it was a stressful job getting the chair runners attached to rails, and then the rails put onto the frame. Now this could have been as he was building it by himself. Scheduled help from others couldn't happen due to the storms, that was me, that swept through the UK at the time. This meant that there were only 2 hands available, instead of 4. Thankfully, we have since heard from GT Omega that these instructions for the GT Omega Prime Cockpit with the XLRS seat are going to be updated, so there's no more worry of the instructions being difficult to follow. Overall, the build of the GT Omega Prime took most of a day, around 8 to 9 hours. As Toby said, a chunk of that was simply adjusting and maneuvering parts of the rig to suit his own needs, but it was definitely not a quick process. However, it has been worth every second. Not only does it provide amazing immersion when you step into it, it's actually suitable for multiple users. Because the seat is on runners, you can pull it closer or push it further away with ease, meaning if you want to share your sim racing passion with others, they can actually try it. Fixed cockpits end up having to be set up for one person's preferences. Even with the pedals and wheel mount secured, you can still slide the seat around, meaning it's suitable for multiple people to use. And it's also surprisingly comfortable. Having tried other rigs before, the GT Omega Prime is easily the most comfortable cockpit he has ever stepped into. More Formula style rigs, especially the ones with a central pillar, can be extremely hard to get in and out of, as well as draining to try and race in. Toby has often clambered out of those at press events with a twinge in his back or cramp in the leg. Not so with the Prime Cockpit. So he built the Prime a few days before Gran Turismo 7 arrived, which meant that he spent 30 plus hours on the rig over the course of a week, and it was still a comfortable place to be. With that comfort came the ability to do more endurance style races too. And it's also not that imposing a rig either. At 137 centimeters long and a max of 86 centimeters wide with the shifter plate attached, it can easily fit into the corner of a room, or create an L-shaped office corner as he has it now. The black colouring keeps it suitable for any aesthetic, and with the companion monitor stand it gives you the perfect driving position for any game. So what is our verdict on the GT Omega Prime? Well, it truly is a superb piece of racing equipment. With its stable and consistent driving position, your muscle memory really builds up, allowing you to feel more confident and capable behind the wheel. Pre-drilled slots made mounting the Fanatec CSL DD easy, and the frame can more than handle the 8 Nm base of the wheel. This really allows you to throw your virtual car around without worry, as there is no flex at all. It's easy to get into, comfortable to sit in, and incredibly immersive to race in. As a taller driver, and rather large too, the Prime along with the XLRS seat is an absolute game changer for Toby. Perhaps the best part of Prime Cockpit is its ease of use. Even after hours of racing, there is no stiffness or back issues that can occur with the more reclined Formula style cockpits. It's easy to get in and out of. It's comfortable to use for other games too, making it a one-stop gaming station. So we highly recommend the GT Omega Prime Cockpit for those looking to make the jump from desk racer or even controller racer to the true sim sensation. So that's it for the GT Omega Prime. Have you got one yourself, or are you thinking of getting one? Let us know down in the comments what you make of our verdict and what you make of yours if you do have it, and we'll catch you in another video here on the channel soon.